What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cardcast. I'm your host, Brandon, aka Pocket Bounty, alongside Matt, aka Trading Card Bro. Today, we are talking about Bandai and where they are specifically in the market today. Also, One Piece, some exciting news, some updates with them, and then we have a final topic about Bandai's newest trading card game. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and here we go. Mr. Trading Card Bro, Matt, what do you think about One Piece?
I love One Piece. It's a great game. I was a big Digimon player, so I was super excited when I heard One Piece was hitting the market. But I think the best thing we're going to be talking about today is really the trends that we're seeing that are very similar, but unfortunately, a lot of people wouldn't realize it if they didn't, unless they played Digimon. But before we get into that, I know you were super excited to talk about the new sets coming out, and I think it's
Yeah.
awesome that, you were saying you were surprised that they were already set up for the second set and the third, but it makes me happy because it makes me feel like, hey, they're moving forward. They don't care what the market's doing. They just care about getting out the game and keeping it going, which is good because, there was definitely some hiccups with Digimon, but unfortunately we're seeing some of the backlash of that as far as not a good balance between supply and demand, and that's why we're seeing what we're seeing in One Piece right now in the secondary market. So I kind of want to give some people some reassuring news from my personal opinion. Obviously, it's not, financial advice or anything like that, but I think it will be sound advice. And if you hear me out, I think it'll pay big dividends for you in the future, or at least save you some money in the meantime.
I mean, and before we get into the money part about it and all that good stuff, I gotta ask you, man. You're talking about you're liking the way they're doing it and all that good stuff, and you know what? I may feel the same way, but let's pump the brakes, okay? We got Romance Dawn just dropped in December 2nd, right? December 2nd, Romance Dawn drops. Boom, bam. No one can get it. There's a handful of people that get
In
this
English,
product.
in English.
Oh, yes, in English, especially people that want to play, right? So you got people even like me that gets their hands on one starter deck each, gets to open a few good packs, and then I got a good enough amount of cards to kind of scramble to make an okay deck.
Right.
But that's all we got right now, right? That's all we've had. Not a reprint yet. And now we're already announcing Paramount War, which is going to be the second set and slated for Q1 of 2-3. And then right after that, they've already announced Q2,
Right.
and that's going to be Pillars of Strength. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, yes, we've had a whole plethora of time to create this game and to create a good system of how we're going to release sets. But your main player base and your main collector base hasn't even had the opportunity to savor Romance Dawn yet. So what do we do to think, hey, they're already about to here in the next few months release Paramount War? What do you know about a reprint coming for Romance Dawn?
Obviously, I don't have any insider info, but if it's anything to the tune, or to the tone, rather, of what happened with Digimon, which this is eerily familiar, like I was talking about, when Digimon first dropped in English, they had already warned everyone, right, that there was a short print of what they called the release special booster, right, because BT1, which is the base set one of Digimon in Japan, was actually split into two sets where you got a Special Release Booster 1.0 and Special Release Booster 1.5. So they were both very small sets. It's almost like they did the opposite of what you see in Japanese Pokemon, where 2 to 3 sets become one English set.
Yeah.
So that's basically what happened in English, and it was weird, right? Because, for example, in my shop, they probably got like a case of 1.0, and then they got a case of 1.5. Then a couple months later, they got like 4 boxes of 1.0 and then like another case of 1.5. So if I had to, but keep in mind that also came out well after the third set, since those were technically the first 2 sets, even though they were just the first set. That was well after the third set came out, So
yeah. I mean, I know you're happy that they're progressing already and they're already thinking ahead and they're already doing things. My only concern is I do not want them moving too fast.
I agree, and and I hate to say it, I know this actually is a good point of reference for our last topic on the first episode, Lorcana, right? They're gonna have to move fast, but staying on topic with One Piece, it's a devil's advocate, right? Like, yeah, you want people to savor and enjoy it, which they will. They are right now. But
Yeah.
the big thing
I mean,
is
what they have,
know
I mean, they don't have
know,
much,
but
but
they know they have to compete, right? You have to keep on changing. And unfortunately, I don't even know how long to go. We got this 3-month block setup, where every 3 months you're expecting this major release from whatever card game you're following to keep with the meta.
Yeah.
However, with that being said, I mean, I'm not a big Pokemon player. I'm most certainly more of a collector, but I do admire the way Bandai does their price support. There's a lot of good stuff that they've done so far that's kept up with Digimon, and they've even improved upon it. So it's really going to be cool to see the stuff they come out with in the future. But even the price support in online tournaments has been insane. I mean, if you place high enough, you're talking about serialized cards and stuff. Like, that's a really big deal. Like, you see a lot of that from Kickstarter TCGs where they have to, do serialized or one-on-ones to kind of market themselves even more and make their product more commodable. But when you did it from a big name place like Bandai, that really...
And One Piece, both of them together.
Of course, One Piece, the most popular anime in the world, paired with Bandai, a card game connoisseur company, and a plethora of other things, video games, merchandise, memorabilia, all that stuff. It really
They do so much, man. So
right,
much.
their hands are everywhere, so it really speaks that they would even waste their time.
Tackle this type of beast, you know what I mean? But
Right,
no, you're right.
I hate to say
they
waste
look
their
like they're
time,
doing
but
good.
They are, but and that kind of ties into the whole market thing that I was gonna talk about. Now, keep in mind, I am happy that sets are coming out. To save anyone's pockets, the best thing I can advise is the same thing the Digimon community's been doing since day one. So if you're been into One Piece, but you didn't really follow Digimon, just remember, every set drops in Japan before. The metas drop in Japan before. So follow card markets based on that. Just a lot of times, even with Digimon right now, cards that are very good in the current meta, you may be able to look over to think about the bigger picture. Like, I've by set like 6 or 7, I think I was still playing blue in Digimon, but I wouldn't even care about building the most meta deck to win the most, because, excuse me, at least at locals, because I knew, hey, in BT9, set 9, blue was going to be really good again, so save my
Play
money
it now,
for that.
master it, and then just keep going with it until that set comes out.
Or look at, I encourage people to look ahead, like, hey, and maybe this is just me, because I've, take on multiple...
looking ahead is going to be smart. It's going to dictate, hey, if I like this color and it's going to be meta here soon, that's going to dictate my decisions now. You know what I mean?
Right. And
rather than trying to maybe just waste all my money right now on what's meta right now,
Right.
and then when your favorite color does come out and to be meta in a few months, you're like, oh, I don't really have as much money now to invest in my favorite color being meta. It's like, well, you should have thought ahead.
Right, and like, me, I do a lot of different trading card endeavors, so hell, it is the way to be easy on the pocket. My best advice for One Piece, if you want to incorporate One Piece into your repertoire of like, hey, I want to play locals and stuff, my best advice is play what you like. It's even in Digimon right now, we're at a state where it's majority of people playing what they like and very few playing to the meta, because it is very
well, I mean, if they were smart, they would make the meta close. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But if they were smart, they'd make it the meta so tight knit and so close that you could almost play any deck and win and do well. Therefore, encouraging people to almost want to pick up every color and try it. And that's what's going to win you the most money out of one particular consumer.
Well, you have to remember, same with One Piece and same with Digimon. You can win with any deck, but there's ones that it's basically like you base whatever the meta is based on what deck can beat the most other types of decks. So right now, like Zoro is really goated, Kid very goated, Flamingo, more people are playing it, but like Flamingo and Law are kind of like outliers where which Law is red and green and Flamingo's blue, where they're outliers that didn't have any popularity to begin with and now have more popularity. And then some very advanced players are even playing Kaido. I'm looking.
Dude, I love the Kaido deck. I can't play it because
I'm
dude,
talking about blue purple Kaido, not starter
okay.
Kaido. Blue
Okay,
purple Kaido.
dude, oh my gosh,
It's a hybrid
yeah.
that's very lethal in the right hands.
Yeah, but you gotta know what you're doing, man.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. But on
Yeah.
to like the bigger thing. I want to point out something very, very interesting that I want people to just hear me out on. You can call me an idiot. I don't care. I'm just trying to save people money because I've seen it before. So
I'll judge you. Let's go.
if you want to on your screen pull up a TCG player and go to Romance Dawn,
Okay.
and go from high to low, you'll see some very interesting things here. And I'm sure people that follow the market are probably already looking at this or have already noticed it, or maybe they even know what I'm about to say, but I just gotta say it because it's obvious at this point.
Talk to me.
Are you there?
Yeah, talk to me.
Okay, so you see all these cards, they're higher than ever.
Yep.
What else is also higher than ever on all of them? You don't have to click on them. I'm asking you.
No.
I want to see. No? Okay.
The leaders.
Not just that, dude. The listing numbers. See, a lot of people get misconstrued by the market value and the listings as low as. A lot of people overlook the listing numbers, and it speaks volumes to me, right? For example, I'm not going to be one of those people like on a Facebook forum who just, or a community page that are just like, oh, everything's so expensive. I'm going to talk with a purpose here. And what I'm going to say is when you have market prices on cards that are all higher, excuse me, than the lowest listing, and you have listings in the doubles of digits, the tens of digits, that says something. I truly believe we're at a high. And I saw something very interesting on here. I'm sure you all saw me clicking on this in the beginning, because obviously I was just on the same page for a lot, but very interesting to see here. There's clearly been a major buyout of Shanks. It very well could have been by the same person. You see this chart here, 716 from, it was a $716 card from November 30th to December 2nd. The middle of December drops to 596. Now it's back up to 794.
But my screen now says 796, and that's crazy.
But look, the cheapest you can buy it for right now on TCG Player, $950.
$949.99.
eBay is way better comps, but that's it. But look at the sales history on, January 24th, a couple days ago. 3 of them got bought out at 678, and then slowly got bought out. So you can see it. And there's a 750, a 778. You can tell there was a buyout, and this is what happens. I'm not saying Shanks is no good on. I think Shanks is in for the long haul of being a very expensive card. But look at Nami, look at Zoro.
Zoro is the next one, dude. If it had to be Zoro or Law, bro.
And Nami. Just here's my thing. Eventually, and it's not just an economy thing, it's a card market thing. Eventually, people say, how high can it go? And they just start listing it, right? So
and then there's going to be a clown that ends up buying it for an insane amount of price. You know what I mean?
Like, look at this. 128.23. So literally yesterday, 3 bought at 224, and now people are already listing them for 220. Already less than what that person paid. Sure, is it $5? And people are like, oh, it's just $5. What are you, broke? No, it's not that. Look, it started at 140, which is already really high in my opinion. I mean, yes and no, because you did about 2 alt-arts per bots. But anyways, what I'm saying is a lot of these cards are commodities, but they're gonna go down. This shows that there's a height, right? Now you wait for a reprint, and what does that do? The same thing to Digimon. And I referenced this when we were doing our little trades and grades, practice Cardcast before we went to the real deal of going hard in this. And what I'll say is, I'm going to pull up Digimon here, and we'll go to the release special booster. Okay. All the highest cards are from big time events, where you can win cards that are market value 6 to 7K. What's funny is, and I used it in reference before. Cards that were like the Nami or like the Zoro leader are just like in Digimon. And look at this. Omnimon alternate art. BT01, card 3, the alter, card 84, the alternate art. This card was a $250 card when the set dropped. Well, shortly after there was major buyouts, and the same thing we're seeing now. Do you know what you can get an air mint foil for now?
Boom.
$35.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Same thing with... Wow, my internet's not one to work with me. Here we go. Bezelmon.
So are you saying it's going to go down?
Yes. Significantly.
Okay.
All of them.
Okay.
Except Shanks, and I'll get to that after this. Bezelmon. I remember when I bought mine, I think I paid $80. Now it's a $30 card. I don't care because, I mean, it sucks, but I love the card. It's a sit card. I've been waiting to get a trade. But what I'm getting at is these were all cards that you're talking about. Over $100 on release day. Stayed very high. What changed? The desire for the card didn't change. Because there's a lot of listening for those, yes, but keep in mind that was like almost 2 years ago. People have had time to get them. What changed? The meta, right? And Tate, for example, and I'm going to go down the page. Excuse me. One of the most ridiculous things that I've seen in this, which you didn't really see in Digimon until later sets. So it's interesting it's so soon, but everyone is playing the same deck as this Zoro SR. 73 listings as low as $30. That's on the second page. This card's been teetering around 25, 30, even upwards of 35. And
it's an amazing looking card.
It's not even the look though, man. It's the playability and the thing.
No, and I get that, but you get both with this. As in the Zoro leader card is... The leader cards to me are alright, man.
If you see it in person, it's phenomenal.
I mean, I have not gotten the chance to. So.
Yeah, it's a very good looking card.
I mean, the Doflamingo dude, that looks... I mean, that is probably the coolest one looking.
I will say it does look very good in person from personal experience.
I mean, yeah, that purple in his sunglasses and just the pink, it looks super, super sick. I mean, look, the prices are going to go down. There's going to be a reprint in this set, right? If you have to have it right now and you do not have money as a problem in your life, or you don't have to really worry about it or anything like that, whatever. I would say
still don't even do it, man.
No, I know, because it's encouraging this, but what I'm trying to get at is listen to him when he's saying, like, dude, just wait a little bit, wait for the reprint, and then wait for the meta change.
Yep.
Even after the reprint, okay, you can still not pull it. You can still say, "Oh my God, it only went down $50. It only went down $40. It only went down $100." Well, wait for the new set. Yep. Wait for the meta shift, and then go and look to see how much that card's actually worth.
Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm only a few cards away from completing the set. Obviously, alt arts. And I'm probably just gonna wait till like December next year or like November. You're going to see a major market shift. The only one I see staying up is Shanks, the alt art, or the Mondo rare.
Correct. Yes.
Because it's a specialty card.
Well, and of course the specialty super pre-release winner Luffy card. I mean, that card's just going to stay where it is or go up substantially after years to come.
It is, but I could also see it going down at the same time, only because... I've seen. Hear me out. I've seen it in person. It doesn't look that good. I mean, it's on my IG.
Yeah, but it is what it is, man. It's like the very first promo, promotion card.
You have to remember, there's a lot of promotion cards, like with Digimon 2 and Bandai, and a lot of them don't retain value. Like, the only ones that have retained value very much so through Digimon have been, like, ones that are in, like, their version of Worlds, like what they call the Ultimate Cup.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff has been kept high in value, but once again, it's like right place. But anyways, all I'm trying to convey to wrap up the One Piece is just, hey, wait it out. If I'm wrong, sorry if you have to pay more, but I don't think I'm going to be wrong, and I think these numbers don't lie. I mean,
No,
You can get
they
listings.
don't lie at all.
You can see where it hit a peak probably close to the end of the year, or even early this year, or the end of 2022 going into this year, and it's only going to go down. For example, Boa. I mean, Boa was like market price 120 not too long ago. And you see just interesting stuff, and you can just tell it's because people don't want to pay the big money for the Shanks or the Nami or the Zoro or even the Law or Doflamingo. So Yamato Parallel was $80 forever, and now it's at a market price of almost 120. And the biggest jump is this Luffy, the Monty D. Luffy Alt Art Leader. Like, this card isn't even that playable. Like, this deck isn't good. I'm sorry. It's not.
Well, it's $90 right now, man.
It is, and it was $40 less than 2 months ago. And
It'll go back down to 40. Then I guarantee you, it'll go back down to $40.
It'll
dude.
probably go even lower. What I'll say the difference is, and the only difference between this and Digimon is they did the alt arts really well, and this base
Absolutely,
set. So
100%.
It's very iconic, right? And One Piece is more popular than Digimon, so that is the only caveats.
Yes.
But what I will say is, what I noticed in the Digimon community is like the Omnimon, for example, when they started selling like hotcakes, is because people that pulled the Omnimon alternate art wanted to build their Nets meta deck. Well, they didn't want to buy a bunch of booster boxes like they did for set 1, because you get in the hole. So you're selling off your alt arts to buy singles, right? So that's what you're gonna end up seeing happen, especially depending on how much they print it. But even this,
Correct.
even
you're going to see more and more of them.
Even this with the Romance Dawn booster bots, market price $238, 26 listings
Do not
as
pay
low as
that.
$245.
Do not pay that.
I agree. Don't do that. I wish I
Don't
didn't
pay
close that special
$230
release
for an
thing.
initial drop that just dropped
Right.
a month and a half, 2 months. Like, don't do it. Do not do it. Don't do it. I say it so many times because it's not the right choice. Please just save yourself the money. And going into away from like the actual individual card market and everything, there is going to be a new set, Paramount War, that is going to be released very, very shortly. And what we had just touched base on our last podcast was just talking about kind of the product, man, and like how they had their official sleeve drop. That dropped on December 2nd with the set, and you just had the regular leader cards that match each color.
You can already see how top this is. Paramount War Booster Bots Chase 3 listings as low as 2,400, and then Pillars of Strength 2 listings as low as 1679. People are just melting it, man.
So people don't even see. So what he's looking up is good, because what we're going to tell you is don't even look at that. Okay, that should not even exist. The product's not even made yet. It's not even out. Okay, but what I'm getting at is I like One Piece in what they're doing, in the sense of they released just original sleeves, which we were like, okay, come on, you can do better than that, right? Well, now they've updated it, right? They've updated it since January. And the official sleeve 2 that they ended up dropping actually came with like the One Piece original backings. So if you wanted them to keep their like original backings to them, but you just wanted to sleeve them up, they have it in their original blue. They also have it in a really cool white and pink. And then they have a Monkey D. Luffy. He's got his hat on, and then of course they have a Tony Chopper, which I think looks awesome. That could be definitely a really cool alt art card. So that artwork is super cool. So they are coming out with super cool sleeves if you guys are interested. And they did just release a release date for Q3. They just released the images. Of Yamato, the Navy, and then Uta. Dude, these are really cool looking sleeves that they're going to drop in Q3. And so they're doing really good at now saying, hey, we know people like very nice artworks, and they like just the original backings for their sleeves. They're giving the consumer, I feel, what they want, and we were a little worried about that, and that's what we touched base on our last podcast with Lorcana, and had a little bit of a tidbit of One Piece in there. Is they only had 4 sleeves, which is generous, but just of generic artwork that they had already made on a card for the leaders. Well, now they're going a step further, and they're making cool artwork for these sleeves. They're giving people what they want. They got clear card cases coming. You got playmats that are really cool. So they're doing it right, and I am really looking forward to Paramount. I think Paramount War is introducing 2 new colors, which is yellow and black, and I think they're going to be really cool. The Navy, or I guess it's Marine or Navy, however you want to look at it, is a black starter deck that's coming out. I think it is awesome looking. I think the whole artwork on the front. I think the color black really pops on the way that this card game is designed. And then the other one that is coming out is the Big Mom Pirates. I do not have like an actual image that I'm looking at. It doesn't have like an official one on their website. But the most interesting starter deck I want to talk about is the One Piece Film Edition. It has a purple Shanks leader card, which is super cool, and a couple other iconic purple cards. And it says an all-star deck that includes characters from the latest movie One Piece film Red. So, what are your thoughts on already like a specialty starter deck like this so soon?
It doesn't surprise me. Anyone who's been playing locals, all shops got free prize support from Bandai, which is a red film deck. So now they're
Yes.
just doing a purple one. So the red one was free, so it doesn't surprise me that they did it to try and, make it different.
I mean, it's 11.99. It's not that big of a deal in price. Right? It's not like $20 or
Yeah,
$25. They're not gouging you for that.
yeah. Until you have shops like, uh, excuse me, this one that I believe is in Jacksonville. Let me look at. Yep, Florida, Jacksonville. That's who I thought it was. So now I can talk to my Junk Vortex TCG. They're the only lister, excuse me, for a case of the displays, and they want $200 for it when it retails at 120. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean,
Glad I
dude,
don't
you guys
shop
are gonna
there.
have to just try to find a local game store that's not willing to gouge or not willing to. I mean, I know not a lot of people are getting a lot of this product, right? So I know some LGSs and other things like that are going to upcharge for it because you cannot find it in a lot of places. But we will also try to maybe do some posts and do some stuff on our stories and stuff like that to kind of help people and update maybe if we find some place that have a restock or anything like that for you guys. I will maybe try to post some things locally where I'm at just in case you can get things online from the shops that I'm at and that they can ship them to you and all that good stuff. But I do think it's really cool that we are going to be seeing a reprint of Romance Dawn, and then right around the corner we're going to be having the second release with two new additional colors that are going to be added in with two new game mechanics. And guys, if you have not played this game, it is probably the first TCG that I've gotten back into to actually play the game. I played it with Matt, and I think it's really fun. It's really easy to pick up and learn, especially if you've had a knowledge of TCG games in the past. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's something that is new and fresh. But speaking about new and fresh, my friend, Bandai has another TCG that's about to come out that a lot of people are excited for. This thing is called Union Arena. It is a crossover trading card game. It is set to release in March, I believe March 24th of 2023.
In
It
Japan.
is
In
in
Japan.
Japan, correct, because this is when they always their initial release date, their first release date, like he said earlier, is always in Japan. Then
Well,
it'll come to us after that.
well, keep in mind, hopefully it does. I think they're going to see how it does in Japan. There has been no announcement so far for
Dude, I
English.
think it'll come here, no doubt, man. Because look, in my opinion, it is the dream all-star card game. It features cards from anime like Jujutsu Kaisen, Hunter x Hunter, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia. You got Bleach, you got Rebellion. Like, you have some of the absolute best animes turned into a TCG. Come on, man. You don't think that the U.S., who's milking animes right now, are not going to get this trading card game?
I could definitely see them making a big profit on it.
Okay, so then let's say this releases in Japan and it is widely successful. They do a really good job.
Right.
What does this do to Weiss?
Before we get into that, I want to bring up what it could do to.
Bandai.
Right. And a lot of people have already bashed it for it, so I'm not new to this train, but, they did Digimon. It did much more successful than anyone anticipated because Digimon is not the most popular show anymore. So you're getting a lot of 90s people in there, like myself and you, who are really excited about Digimon. And then you have One Piece, which impedes on the market of that. So I feel like they have to kind of tiptoe around, unless they plan on ditching not even just Digimon and One Piece, but sorry,
You don't think that they'd
Dragon Ball
add in?
Super's
You don't think they'd add in One Piece eventually to this?
no. They'd be stepping on
So
there. That would be a defining
no, no, no.
moment where
I'm
people
talking
would be
about
like,
no. I'm talking about before they just shut the doors on One Piece and Digimon. Before they shut the doors on them, you don't think that they'd be like, all right, we will shut the doors on them in the sense of them being their own identity and their own TCG, but we're going to incorporate then those characters and instill their cards into Union.
yeah, I mean, I don't see that because here's my thing about this. A lot of these are, basically all these they added are more or less newer animes and other IPs. We'll get into that in a little bit, how there's like video game
Well, Bleach and
things.
My Hero are not new.
They're not new, but they're newer.
Neither's Hunter x Hunter.
I agree, but what I'm getting at is there's way more content with One Piece and Digimon as far as lore where you can keep them going. You know, all I'm saying is as far as a market, like you can't expect people to drop everything and one be like, I'm all Bandai TCGs. There's gonna be some
Dude,
people out there.
but they're so smart. How are they going to come? So before we do touch base into Weiss, Bandai's smart. They're like, hey, we have all of these popular new animes, and we also have some old animes that are getting reboots or even additional seasons after so many years,
Right.
and people who are experiencing them for the first time, and it's on an uproar because there's a new generation watching it. But dude, they're not going to come out with a Demon Slayer TCG. They're not going to come out with a Rebellion TCG, a Bleach TCG. They're coming out with now Union Arena. They were like, okay, we can be successful with My Hero a little. We can be really successful with One Piece and Digimon and Super by themselves. But we know we can still make money off of all of these characters and these lores combined in this new trading card game that won't really rival One Piece, but it'll be something that now, if you're not a fan of One Piece at all or Digimon, you're pretty much not collecting Bandai product. And Bandai didn't want to have that happen. They're like, hey, how do we have all of our untapped market of anime characters brought into the TCG world and make money off of it? So I think it's going to be super successful in the U.S., man. I think I do think it's going to come to the U.S. very quickly after it hits Japan. I think in Japan it's going to be very successful. If it folds or if it's not as successful as they think it is, I will be very surprised because they are still marketing this very well. But you are more of a diehard anime Weiss collector and Bandai collector. I just started collecting One Piece, and I've only collected Dragon Ball Super for so long.
Yeah.
So you know more about the Bandai scene than I.
So my biggest thing is it definitely has the potential to succeed, and that's me being not negative about it. Like the one thing that they did themselves a favor on is they have very dead IPs. For example, I'm just gonna list out the biggest 5 that I believe, which is Jujutsu Kaisen, Hunter x Hunter, Bleach. What else do we have here?
Well, and then you said My Hero. My Hero already has their own TCG with Bandai.
Yeah.
Why would they add them in here and not One Piece?
And the interesting thing is, they got that time it got reincarnated as a slime, which has been widely successful for Weiss, which is what we're going to get into. But if you look at here, they have a timeline here. So March 24th of 2023 in Japan, they're releasing Code Gas, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Hunter x Hunter. April, Demon Slayer and Idolmaster, which was also a Weiss set. In May 2023, Tales of Arise, that time I was reincarnated as a slime, Bleach, and My Hero Academia. So here's the big thing, and I'll bring this up, and I'm going to switch over to Weiss. Well, I'll switch over to Weiss in a minute. The big thing about these titles are, yes, it's good, but they have to have a good selling point. So, from what I've seen online, as far as gameplay, it's basically a building block on what Digimon and One Piece already did. So that's why I say they're not smart, because they're hurting their own market. Because if you're going to play the same baseline set of rules and same concepts, because really that's the thing with One Piece and Digimon, I've already seen it. One Piece undercut the Digimon market because people really had to pitch. Like myself, you know me, I've been diehard in Digimon since it came out. But I had to pitch, and I ended up pitching One Piece. And maybe because it's newer, maybe I'll go back to Digimon. I don't know. But it's tough. So when you add Union Arena, what I'm saying is it undercuts it. Because it's like, hey, it's pretty much the same game. I know how to play all of them. but which one would I prefer to play? And that's where I say it gets tough, because then you're pulling from the same pool of people and hoping you can get the same bid tournaments. Has One Piece had bid tournaments? Yes. Has Digimon had massive tournaments? Absolutely. With Union Arena, people, especially with the economy being tight, you're only going to be able to afford to go to so many different tournaments, and you have to really pick, like, which one do I want to dive into, get the best at, so I can attend these tournaments. So as far as a player base, it's rough. As far as collectability, yeah, sure, I don't see why it doesn't make it, but you know what I mean?
But that's why they did it. Union Arena, they knew, hey, we can't just have people keep buying separate sets and separate sets of different animes. So we're going to start combining them into like this ultimate, what they call the Dream All-Star card game for their animes, okay?
Right.
The difference between this, in my opinion, is it is going to be more playable, okay? Weiss can get away with releasing an ungodly amount of different sets in a year because you don't play the damn game, man. You just collect the cards for the collectability. It might as well be a CCG, and they can release however many sets of however many animes that they have licensed under their belt as they want, because they don't have to worry about game mechanics or anything like that. I mean, yes, there are some that can be played and people play them and blah blah blah. Don't shoot me over for it, okay?
You're saying that, but look at the first 3 months of this release. They're releasing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're releasing 9 sets in the first 3 months. So
That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about Union Arena.
Well, yeah, but they're doing that only to catch up with everything. I do not think that's going to stay at the pace that it's going to go, dude. If that is, then they're trying to directly compete with Weiss Schwartz. But then it's like, then why did you combine all of those animes? Go the Weiss Schwartz route and just come out with separate sets for separate animes, and then you can make so much money that way.
Sure, that's my biggest qualm with it, is it feels like not as much as, when you looked at the analytics, it doesn't feel like as much of a good idea as it does feel like a money grab, right?
So you think it would have been better for them to chop My Hero, chop Demon, chop Hunter, chop Bleach, all up into separate sets like Weiss, and you think that'd be a better move for Bandai?
I think it would have been better for them to wait to release this project a year after, or a year or two after One Piece, because what I'm saying is they're undercutting their market. And
okay, so you're not saying this is a bad idea. You're saying it's too soon.
I'm saying it's too soon, and just kind of bad all around, because, like I said, the trading card community kind of feels like, not disrespected, but like One Piece is like a much bigger IP than Digimon now, at least in the States.
Correct.
So how do you not feel undercut when you just dumped thousands into Digimon, and now you're like, okay, well, now I want to play One Piece, but now it's hard to get. Oh shit, they didn't learn anything from their mistakes. Like, them as a company, they're poor logistically. So what I'm saying is, Union Arena is cool. It's a great concept. It's been referred to as the Super Smash Bros. Of trading card games. But I also say that people that say that are uneducated in TCGs, because, and I'll pull it up now, Weiss Schwartz. They've been doing this for a while, and I'm happy for Weiss Schwartz, right? Because not until recent years of their almost 10-year tenure now, like, I know it's crazy to say they've been out for 10 years.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
But they started out releasing sets very slowly and basically to pre-order, and now they're doing great, and they're having a lot more success. And I'll tell you, the biggest thing that makes me as a Weiss collector not want to jump in and go crazy over Union Arena is the cards, man. The quality, texturing, SPs, the SIDs, like, it just is amazing. And while Union Arena does have some huge IPs, and I will give them credit on this, they have IPs that Weiss hasn't even gotten yet. For example, Jujutsu, Hunter x Hunter, My Hero, insane. And I don't like My Hero, but My Hero, I don't care for My Hero at all. I'm just saying, I was learning out, I don't care. But
I mean, there's a lot of My Hero fans, man.
There is, and they're probably in middle school, and if they're not, sorry.
You say that's one of my employees, man.
You can use that on them. But Demon Slayer is a very good one. Bleach, like, I'm not a fan of Bleach, but I know a lot of people love it, so I'm not done.
If you like sword fighting, go watch Bleach.
But you know what I mean? They've proven that they can do good IPs, which is awesome. But if they're just gonna do snapshots of animes. Like, what does that really mean? Whereas with Weiss, sometimes it's snapshots, but at least there's so much originality to it that it doesn't matter, and you throw that beautiful gold Sid on it, or silver Sid if it's one of the reprint sets they've done. But just look at and we'll probably end up wrapping this up pretty soon because I don't want to beat a dead horse, but like, look at this. Even they've gone as far to, not even we're talking about Pixar and Disney sets that we've talked about before, but now they have Avatar The Last Airbender, so they're diving into Nickelodeon, which is crazy. Personally, I don't care for that set, but what I am excited about is these two major IPs, Spy X Family and
Yep.
Chainsaw Man. I mean, they're going to be groundbreaking sets. They're listening to their community and realizing, hey, people love our cards now, so we're going to reprint stuff like Overlord that may have upset the old heads in Weiss who were in very early 10 years ago, but they did it in a manner that didn't disrupt
Other
the
sets
the
or anything
the,
like
the
that.
people who were heavily invested. The only set that did
Correct.
that was Attack on Titan, but they learned their
Yep.
lesson. They reprinted it and did it in gold. People, to say it politically correctly, complained very heavily, and they listened. So look, now all my Overlord cards have silver Sids, and that's fine for me because I'm super thankful that I've been able to collect them without having to, sell my car.
Well,
To be
Spy
frank.
Family fits right into Weiss Schwartz because it is just such a cute anime. If you are looking at getting into an anime that is just kind of like cute, fun, makes you feel really great, I think Spy Family is super cool.
Chainsaw Man's amazing. Anyone who
Chainsaw
says
Man's
anyone
not not the exact same theme, but
anyone who
Chainsaw Man
says
is super cool.
anyone who says it's overrated, I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Naruto's
you could.
overrated. Chainsaw Man is overrated.
Naruto is overrated. We can both agree on that, and people can be really upset. I mean, Shippuden is fine, but
I hate the concept how people say just watch Shippuden. It's like, well, I don't want to watch 9 seasons of stuff that could be filled in a 30-minute episode to feel good about
I
myself
mean,
for
I
watching
know there's tons
Shippuden.
of filler. That's the main complaint about that anime. But I mean, dude, people are excited about Guilty Gear coming out. People are excited about Spy Family. People are excited about Chainsaw Man. People are
No,
excited about a
no,
whole
no, no.
bunch of stuff in
No, no,
Weiss,
no.
dude.
Trading card, bro, is the side about Chainsaw Man. I'm very upset about Chainsaw Man.
I mean, dude, look, White Shorts is going to be absolutely fine, even if Bandai comes out with Union Arena in the States and in English in across the world, other than Japan. They're going to be fine. You know what I mean? They're gonna continue what they're doing.
Right.
Hololive Volume 2 is coming
Right.
out. I mean, they're gonna have a huge
Hey,
following. But I do
yeah.
want Bandai to up the ante, and I do want them to see Weiss Schwartz as this big entity in the anime community,
A
man.
lot of people don't, though, because they haven't received the same recognition that, in my opinion, I think they deserve. They completely revolutionized it to the point, and I hate to say it, I'm not trying to sound like I know it all, but let me look at Pokemon. Even they put SIDS on their last trainer cards, and if you
Oh
don't think
yeah,
that had
dude!
something to do
I
with it,
couldn't believe they put SIGs
yep,
on the the reverse hollow and the regular hollow trainers. Not even on the full arts, man. I don't think they wanted to be that ballsy yet. Do I think it's gonna get to that point? I do, man. I think, dude. Well,
it's
I
a
just
proven
said last
concept.
time,
It looks amazing.
it is a proven concept, and I just saw that they're doing 30 trainer cards next set for Scarlet and Violet. 30 trainer, like I'm talking like
Yep.
30 trainer
Well,
cards, guys.
they
You
see
got to
the
be kidding
market
me.
hopping on it. It went from Japanese to English, and then people started caring about
The trainers,
the
the actual
random
people.
encouners. Then which
Yeah,
is
the
so
gym leaders,
which
and
is
I mean
so
they've always been a fan of the
which is
gym
so
leaders, but
weird.
like to turn them into a full art card, man. I mean, yes. I mean,
Let's be
Weiss
honest,
is
Pokemon has a lot of ridiculous full arts that don't need to be a thing as far as trainers.
well. I mean, they got it.
I was gonna say,
There's only so much they can do, man. So they're gonna keep doing it all.
right. Well, I was
So
gonna say everyone heed my warning. I was kind of surprised they did a little unorthodox where it looks like Spy Its Family is going to release before Chainsaw Man, but Spy Its Family got announced after, which is weird. I think Spy Its Family is going to be really big, but heed my warning. Chainsaw Man is something that if you can save up for now, if you're a Weiss collector, get Chainsaw Man. Get the trial decks. The trial decks are going to have SSPs, which is like insane. I
yeah,
don't think that's
they're
going to be
good.
at least from
Yeah,
what I've heard. Don't quote me on that.
correct.
They may be in the booster bots, which makes more sense because we've never seen SSPs, I don't believe, in trial decks. But
That'd be so sick.
nonetheless, it's going to be a very sought after set. And keep in mind, now we've kind of seen more of how the way Weiss releases sets, and they'll release Volume 2s and Volume 3. So, we're now seeing Overlord Volume 2 in Japan, for example. Where it should be getting it to English. That'd be amazing. I'm pretty sure we are, but it hasn't been announced yet. But I don't see why we wouldn't. But Overlord Volume 2. So if you don't think there's gonna be a Chainsaw Man or Spy X Family Volume 2 after this, I need some of what you're smoking, because it's too good of an IP, and if they've already got licensing for it, why not tap on that? I mean,
Absolutely.
especially Chainsaw Man.
Absolutely.
It's the talk of the town, and it's such a weird and niche anime, but like mainstream at the same time. It's like super weird. It's like a barrier breaking anime. So I think
it is super unique. It is super cool. And I think, guys, if you could take anything from this, please, overall, for Bandai's sake and for One Piece sake, just wait. Do not buy booster boxes or singles at the moment if you can help it. Buy some product, buy some sleeves, buy some play mats, prep yourself, get ready. That stuff is just really well priced on their website. So wait for the reprint, wait for the meta shift, do what you got to do there. For Weiss Schwartz, guys, please do your due diligence, research the sets, but collect what you love. Collect what you love. If you love Chainsaw Man like Matt, then go collect yourself some Chainsaw Man. I know I will be.
That's more
the
than
anime
collect what you want. If you don't like Chainsaw
collect
Man,
what you love.
don't buy
Yes,
it.
collect what you want. Collect what you love. Do not listen to anybody else and what they say is more valuable than what you think. When what you love and what characters you love are. Okay, it is what it is,
Let me pull up these
and what you love, don't let anybody else say otherwise. So I really appreciate everybody kind of tuning in, listening. If you like what you hear, just give it a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. If you have any other topics you guys would love for us to talk about, leave it down below. But I will say our next topic is going to be pretty fun, guys. So tune in. We were trying to have them every single week for you guys. Might be on Wednesdays. May change that in the future. Before I know, Hump Day might be the day to do it. I hope you guys learned a little bit. I hope you guys had some fun. And until next time, guys, we'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. I'm excited because I don't even know what the next topic is. Brandon just kind of directs the traffic, and I fall in line, I'm just driving on my way back home from work. But I just want to leave y'all with, these are the two SSPs, so I guess it's like widely confirmed now. These are going to be in the trial decks. It's an SSP of Denji, and it's pretty sick. It's him pulling Pochita, the little chain out of his chest, and then Power, two iconic characters. So I'm super excited. I'll definitely touch more on this later, but I have some hypotheses that we're going to see different SSPs from them in the main set, because how did you not? They're two awesome characters, as well as like Mamita and good old eye patch girl, I always forget her name, and the sword guy. I feel bad saying that, but it's late, I'm a little tired. But I don't want to talk your ears off. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and thank you, Brandon, for tuning in on another episode. I appreciate you, man, and stay tuned for more awesome episodes of the Cardcast, y'all. Peace.